Hi everyone, my name is Adam.
And I'm Zane, and this is A to Z, where we cover any topic from A to Z.
Last week we had the wonderful TJ Rogers from Geek Fortress. Everyone should definitely check out that. This week, however, we have limited trophy hunter Jamietopples.
Hello,
That's me.
hello, Jamie.
Hi. Hey, guys.
So I know you get a lot of trophies in limited, but where did the original yelling of 2-1 Topples come from? Is it simply because you go 2-1 often?
Unfortunately, in quotes, because 2-1 is very respectable, right?
No.
Only 1 out of 8 people get a trophy, right? Per pod. So 2-1 is great. But yes, it came from me always wanting to 3-0, and then a lot of times I end up going 2-1, which I've come to good terms with. But it's still rough when you don't get that win, right?
It is.
Oh, yeah, I think we've all been there.
Especially when it's like
Somewhat or
game
another.
3, match 3, and you're like, oh, if only I had drawn this one thing. Like, you were
And I
just
have
so
5 in
close.
the deck.
Or any lands,
Yes, or any lands. That
Or if I
or
always
drew
feels
that
terrible.
wind drake.
any spell.
Or if I drew that wind drake.
The
Just
wind
drake.
Just the one.
Drake
Yeah.
one time.
That's what'll save you the wind drake.
Best card, OP. Definitely.
It used to be. It used to be like a great card and not Kaladesh.
Yeah, you're right. Well, there's a lot of reach. It's not what was it? Gate Crash. I just drafted all 3 2 flyers, and I was like, oh.
Oh, the flashback of that. I think I watched part of that. That was
When
entertaining.
I had four in Gate Crash. I know you played 1 or 2 drafts, Jamie, but there are the 3 2 flyer for 4 in white. And one time I drafted 4 of them, and I was like, "This is the worst deck ever. This is all I have. I have no bombs." And then I easily 3-0'd, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, all right. Well, I had nothing else. Like, because Gate Crash is actually more about curve than in flying. Like, it's not a huge. I mean, flying is very important in it, but it's all about that low to the ground 2 drops a lot. And I, yeah, I was.
Sure, keep bragging about your 3-0s. Go
Hashtag
right
humble
ahead.
brags.
Well,
Sweet brags, dude. Um, uh, but yeah, Jamie, when did you actually start playing limited?
When did I start playing limited? So let me think about that. The first time I ever drafted was, I think, March 2015. I went to F&M. I loved it. I lost hard, really hard. People were so nice though at the local game shop, so that was really great. And then I got kind of addicted to it because, yeah, I just love drafting. Like how often, like all your decisions make a difference, right?
Mhm.
And when you just craft the perfect deck, it feels so good when you win. So yeah, I was immediately afterwards, I'm like, we have to go back next week because I went with my husband and yeah. And he's like, oh, I didn't think you would take to it. So then after that, I said I would never draft online because I was like, oh, it looks so complicated. But then I did a couple months later. And the very first time I streamed a draft was in January. So I've been streaming drafts. I don't want to say competitively, but maybe a little bit. I don't know.
Well,
When you do
you always compete in
right.
drafts, but
Yeah, I mean I do like 15, 16 drafts a week.
Okay. I mean, you've been pretty consistent too. So,
Yeah.
now you said your husband brought you there. So he's the one. I mean, he seems like an excellent Magic player. Was he the one that got you into Magic,
He
or
was,
okay?
yes. So what happened was he bought me a Clash pack for Christmas, and he was so excited. He bought it on Amazon, and he couldn't even wait for it to get to the house. He's like, I have to show you what I bought you. So he showed me on Amazon, and I literally, no joke, cried. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to learn this. It's so complicated. Yeah. So
And now you're here.
yeah, it's kind of funny. I always at each step I resisted. I was like, "Oh, I'll never play online. Oh, I'll never watch Magic videos. Oh, I'll
oh,
never
I'll never
stream."
play another format.
Right. And well, I just love my limited. I don't want.
Like,
I haven't even done sealed online, and I usually do a couple sealed here and there. But yeah, I've been just drafting like I'm fiend.
yeah. So you
Yeah.
always draft. Have you considered anything else?
Considered? Yes.
Okay.
Considered very seriously? No. I mean, I know I should because everybody, has their favorite format, and I think it's good to be well-rounded. Um, but drafting's just so much fun. There's like nothing in the world I would rather do
Okay.
besides draft.
Now,
So,
when your husband, going back to when your husband got you into it, does he just primarily draft as well? So it was like
yeah.
something you could do together. Um.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and
That's
it, and
awesome.
yeah, it's so great. Like, and then we go to F&M pretty much every week, so it's like a date night, We get all
Oh
I
yeah.
get like a little bit dressed up, and in the summer I wear dresses, and it's just
Yeah, I've seen your pictures every Friday, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I went to like F&M as like consistently, but like yeah, I've seen
yeah.
that like every week you post your pictures of like your deck from F&M, and you make it an event. I'm
I
trying to say.
do. Yeah, and I'm really fortunate. My local game shop is amazing. Everybody's really supportive. We all like help each other out.
Okay.
If somebody makes a mistake, nobody like jumps down your throat. They kind of like let you take it back, and
Right.
it's like a learning experience.
That's
So it's
sweet.
good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, have you gone to play paper more than that? Like, have you played in GPs or have you played in like higher level like PPTQs, anything like that level?
I've done a few GPs, but only team sealed. I've done
Okay.
2 GPs for that. And then I went to the GP in Pittsburgh twice, but I only did side events.
Okay.
Yeah. And John, he actually competed in a modern GP. I think that was like a year ago in Ohio or something like that. I think it was Ohio. So he has a modern deck, but he just doesn't really play it that much.
Okay.
Did I hear a modern deck?
Yeah, there's birds in it. That's all I know.
That's all you know.
Yeah.
I heard once on stream you said I get very confused by modern. You're like
I
I get
do.
overwhelmed. There's just so much going on.
It's like a different language, I swear. Like it's unreal and it's so complicated. But I'm sure like once you know all the cards, it's like easier.
Oh,
But
you
I
never
just
know all
don't.
the cards.
You
I
never.
I think some people know all the cards. Maybe.
It's hard because the modern card pool is so wide that even if you know of a card or what a card generally does, like there's times that I forget what extort does because I never see it.
Right.
In certain keywords, I forget like cohort and stuff like that. Like
You mean the ones that aren't
you
relevant?
know them, yeah. I mean you know them, you learn them, but at the same time you don't remember them all the time because it's like like I'm not going to use this ever again. So
The thing
Gotcha.
is, modern at this point is 13 years. So the interactions between a card that was developed 10 years ago and a card that was developed this year is like super strange, and
Right.
it is. I can see how it's a little overwhelming. Uh, I know that I know Murph. I know that when you got back into modern, he spent what was it? You spent like every day you would look up a set.
yep, it was what I did was for about a month or so, took I went set by set and looked at every single card in the set, looked up anything that I didn't understand,
Right.
and that's how I learned what was in the modern pool. Now, I did that about I don't know, around Khan's Atarkir. Now, if you ask me what to name off like 25 different cards from Champions at Kamigawa, probably can't do it. To be honest, but I've looked at all the cards. I know the general format of them and what they do. I don't remember names offhand, and it's so hard to keep up with all of that, especially if you haven't been playing it, every day for the past 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
I think keeping up. I think I'm keeping on track and knowing like all those cards and those interactions, those niche interactions, is difficult. So I understand why you wouldn't pursue that, Jamie. I understand that. Um,
And so going back to a little bit more your comfort level, what has been your overall experience with Kaladesh? Has it been positive, negative, 18 trophies positive, or more than that?
19.
19.
Oh.
Must have gotten one when I wasn't watching.
uh-oh, 19. Get
You're
wrecked,
just
Murph.
Yeah.
or no?
So, okay, Kaladesh. Normally, I am very like when a new set comes out, I try to do my research. I try to play a little bit on Cockatrice, just to kind of like figure out the interactions and stuff before it's released on Moto.
Okay.
This time I really didn't do that with Kaladesh. I can't explain why because I don't know. But I didn't listen to like a lot of podcasts. I didn't look at the spoilers at all. So going into the set, I just really didn't know anything. And normally I have more knowledge going into a set. So I think that was like a big difference for me. So in the beginning, it was really tough. It was really, really tough for me to do well in Kaladesh. In the beginning, it was horrible.
Is that
It
because
was
you
really
didn't spend
bad.
enough time researching, and is that why you feel?
I mean, I know that's a difference, but at the same time, Kaladesh I feel is really complicated. Nobody really agrees on what is the best strategy, right? Like even pros disagree,
Right.
which is strange because a lot of times in a set there will be like a consensus on what's the best, right?
Mhm.
Or like what the top few things are, and
Right.
it's just so different. You can dirtle all day and have a good deck, or you could be super aggro and your deck can be great. I mean, it's crazy.
I think when Melvin was on a couple weeks back, we talked about the different archetypes that are within Kaladesh, and how if you go for an energy deck, you have to go for an energy deck. There's just no other option. If you go for a fabricate deck, you have to go for fabricate. It just seems like, to me at least, Kaladesh is very much more linear in terms of what you have to do, but also more punishing when you try to do too much.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I agree.
That's a good assessment. So is that a positive? So it was negative at first, but now it's positive. Is that kind of what you're feeling?
Uh, yes. So, I mean, the first couple weeks I was all like, "Oh, it's a new set. I'm so excited." And then I feel like I just got beat up by it. And yeah,
Sorry,
a
we're
weekend.
not laughing at your pain. We're just laughing because it's happened to all of us.
Yeah, I mean, I actually cried on stream. It was really
Mhm.
bad. Like I had a breakdown. I had like an emotional breakdown from this set.
Okay.
Which was a little bit, different because you're supposed to have fun and
Right.
not
Right.
cry. So, I mean, I take things very seriously. I want to win,
Hmm.
and when I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, it drives me nuts. So that was hard. But after a while, I just said, I'm gonna get good at this. I'm gonna figure this out, and I think I'm starting to. That's like a very dangerous thing to say. Uh, because when you start to get comfortable, then you let your guard down a little bit.
Right.
Like you have to stay vigilant, you know?
I
Um,
I remember you really liked Eldritch Moon. I remember.
I loved Eldritch
Yeah.
Moon. Oh,
Yeah.
loved it. I
Now
even liked playing blue in that set. It was weird.
imagine. Wow, blue being good.
Wait, you drafted a blue deck
Yes.
more than once?
Uh-huh.
Can I get like a clip of this right now?
Yeah. Even in Kaladesh, I've drafted blue. I've done it. I don't like to, but
It's
I'll
like
do it.
against your it's against your will though. You're like, no, don't let me draft blue.
My moral code.
Now, if you started streaming in January, what set was that? What set was out then? Do you remember?
Mm, was it Gate Crash? I mean, not Gate Crash. Oath of the Gatewatch.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, right then. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, what was your first paper set then?
Mm, for drafting, we drafted Dragons. Wait, Fate Reforged? Was
Okay.
that it? It wasn't triple cons. It was after that.
Yeah, it was
Just
double
triple
cons
cons.
with one fate or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Okay.
what I did.
Cool.
And I drafted Bant, which was not a thing in cons.
Nice.
Yep.
Keep with the color.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice. That's awesome.
John was like, "What? No, no."
Like, no, this is no fixing.
like-
Fixing.
I was like, "You're supposed to draft 3 colors, right? It's cons." He's like, "Not like that."
The wrong 3 colors.
You got
I
2 out of the 3, right?
Yeah.
Just that pesky third color.
Yep. Live and learn. It's all good.
Talking about colors, what is your favorite color been? In Kaladesh.
My absolute favorite color.
Yeah, your favorite color combination, favorite color, and that kind of thing.
So I really love red. People don't like it though. in Kaladesh for some reason. I despise blue. I think you guys know
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
especially in Kaladesh. But in general, I don't really like it either. I don't like to be a control player. I really love aggro decks, and in Kaladesh, I think that's how you get the job done. I feel like 15 out of 19 of my decks that I've gone 3-0 with have been aggro decks. Yeah. So my favorite color combination is red, white.
Yes, go red white.
Yes,
yeah.
it's a lot of fun. I think red, white vehicles in Kaladesh, you can't go wrong. With the Paula, oh, so nice.
It seems like it seems like red white in terms of color combination is more forgiving than like say black green or anything involving blue.
Yeah. Well, because you can draft even like just basic 2-drops like bears, and they'll still do what you want them to do. Because if you throw an inspired charge on them, they're fine, and that's what those decks want to do. Just go wide.
Right.
So
So speaking of going wide, I have a 3-part question for you.
Whoa.
okay.
Actually, let's go 4-part at it. Let's go. What is it's all the same question realistically, but it has 4 answers. What is your favorite mythic, favorite rare, uncommon, and common from
Okay.
Kaladesh?
So I mean, I'm gonna probably just be boring with the mythic. I mean, all the Gear Hulks are so good. So, but let's talk about how awesome the Black Gear Hulk is. Oh, it's so
Yes.
good.
It,
The
It's
Black
so
Girl you didn't
good.
get to cast on your one stream.
Yeah, it's so sad.
the one that completely
Um,
swings the game. Like, you,
Exactly. And it's bonkers. It's like so broken when you get to cast it. It's amazing. Okay, so my favorite rare. Hmm. I mean, I love the Paula. I do. I think she's really great. Because red white, she's a lot of fun. She makes glint sleeve artisans even better, and they're exciting already. So
right.
I like the Paula a lot. Favorite uncommon. Hmm. That's a good. I mean, probably the Cub, right?
Yeah, I thought you were. I thought you were gonna say Cub. It's like every time you say Cub, you just like let out like I don't know. Is it a shrill, a squeal? I don't know.
Yes.
It's like
Okay, so well, like 2-drops, a good 2-drop in this format is hard to find, right? I mean,
right.
I think you have to really prioritize those in Kaladesh because you just don't get a lot of them. And Cub is it's so magnificent. You build an energy deck, it's great. You don't build an energy deck and you drop it on turn 2, it's great. It's just, and he's so cute.
definitely.
And green is like the best color, I think, in Kaladesh.
I think it's definitely the strongest color.
Yeah.
By far.
The uncommons and commons are just phenomenal. So, all right, favorite common?
Yeah.
Can you guys guess what it is?
I'm gonna say, tidy conclusion.
No, not tidy conclusion.
No.
Do you know what it is?
That's a terrible answer. See?
He loves tidy conclusion though.
No.
It says
no.
destroy target creature, which I think is really great. But
No,
it's not my
no.
fave.
Ready?
It's a 3-drop, is my hint.
Train.
Oh, that's right.
The
Renegade
train.
Freighter
That's
is
right.
so good. So I've totally pack one picked one a freighter over Dovenbon, and I don't feel bad about it at all. Because train goes
Yeah.
in so many decks, it keeps you open.
And
Dovenbon, you're like
Dovenbon's blue.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's blue.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the problem.
Now would you take it over Chandra?
No.
Just take
Chandra
over good
is
cards.
amazing.
Come on.
Oh, you like Doven?
No, I don't like Dovin that much.
No. What I'm saying is that I want to see if the train hype is as big as it is
It's just
enough to knock off Chandra from Pack One Pick One.
What?
Absolutely not, because Chandra is like worth $20, and she's like a planeswalker, and she is amazing, and she's beautiful, and I would take her. But train is
And people just scoop the game when you play her sometimes. Like they actually just scoop the game when you're not even ahead. Like, oh, okay, turn 4 Chandra. Okay, I'll scoop.
right.
You're
Same
like,
with the
No. It's really fun when you get the turn 9 Chandra with like 2 life left and 1 creature on board, and they have 5, and they're like, yeah, I scoop. I'm like, okay.
Cool.
I just threw this out there because why not? But okay. Like I'm still dead. You know this, right?
I really like Chandra. Like as a card, it got super hyped when it came out, like for constructive purposes, and then
yeah.
it just dropped off. Like everyone
Well,
was like,
because
"This is the new
no,
modern card. This is like gonna go in every standard deck," and then like
it is the new modern card
it
in my
is,
mind.
it is, but it didn't. When it first came out, everyone was like, "This is going everywhere," and then they didn't really put it anywhere. A lot of people didn't put it anywhere. They're like,
Oh, I put it in plenty of. I put
know
it in
you
plenty
did.
of decks. Trust
like,
me.
if you look at like the top eights of things, like standard modern, like they didn't actually adapt to the card very well. And over time, they're like, "Oh wow, this card's good." I mean, it was kind of like a weird. It reminded me kind of how, sort of like Jace, the Bryn's Prodigy, but in the opposite way, where
Yeah.
like but both of them took time, but Jace Bryn's Prodigy was not overhyped. It was like so underhyped, and then like, oh wait, Jace is insane. Like they just like figured it out a month later.
Yeah, you know that feeling when you trade your foil pre-release Jace Friends Prodigy
For like
for a
$8.
Sensi's Divining Top,
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right.
and you're like, oh, this is a pretty good trade. Okay, yeah, it's like worth $20. Top is worth about $20. Okay, yeah, I'm okay with this.
Aw.
And it's like, oh look, it's $100.
Yeah.
Jace was one of the most missed cards recently. Like Delver and Jace were like the in history, you know.
Well, I think too, like even Jason Modern is still playable. It's not
Right.
it's not to the extent that Chandra is playable, but
No.
it's still pretty good.
I agree with you.
It's definitely playable in Frontier.
It's definitely Frontier. I like Frontier. But Jamie, back to you. You know, we talk about these new sets when they came out and stuff. Are you excited for Aether Revolt? Are you excited for change, or are you kind of like, no, I'm okay with where I am?
Well, okay. So whenever a new set comes out, of course I'm hyped because the cards, I mean, it's awesome just to see all the new stuff and the
Right.
artwork is so phenomenal and like seeing how new interactions are, it's just great. But every time a new set comes out, I'm like, oh, it's just so much learning you have to do, right?
Right.
Um, so like with Shadows, I love Triple Shadows. Then when Eldritch Moon came out, I was like, it ruined everything. But then I really just grew to love it. So I think that's what's gonna happen here. I think I'm just gonna resist for a minute and then embrace it.
You know, I saw an interesting card come down the pipeline a couple days ago, and I think it's one that Z might actually appreciate as well.
Which one are you referring to?
The Consulate Crackdown.
Consulate Crackdown. So let's talk about Consulate Crackdown. Consulate Crackdown is 5 mana. It's white. It's 3 and 2 white. It's an enchantment. And when Consulate Crackdown enters the battlefield, exile all artifacts your opponent controls until Consulate Crackdown leaves the battlefield.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's a wrath effect for artifacts. It's great.
It's,
I'm sure Affinity will love it.
Sure. Oh, okay.
It's too
I was like-
expensive for that.
Oh, I know you're feeling on 4 mana cards being too expensive for anything.
It's 5 mana. 4 is already
Right.
too much.
4 is already 2 months, says, you know, Supreme Verdict, and
Okay, well, we could argue. We could go back to this argument that our long-lived argument of the 4-drop in Modern. But Jamie, how like swingy are some of these new cards? Like some of these new rares. I don't know if you've taken a look at the spoilers at all, but
Not really yet.
Okay.
So
what is your normal process then with the spoilers? You don't track them as they go.
no, I mean I like to wait until they're all out so I can like evaluate the whole set. Because if you just see them trickle in, you're like, oh my gosh, it feels like everything's so overpowered, right? Because you're seeing
Right.
like the rares, the mythics, and you're just like, oh, what's happening? Like this is gonna break the set. Oh my gosh, like. But so I like to wait until everything's out. But that's just me. I know that some people like love to see the new stuff. And I think it's interesting. I don't know. I've seen the new Ajani. Ajani?
Yes.
Yes.
which both
Which-
of them are.
I've seen both, yes.
Okay. You like it, Johnny?
Have you seen the Oath of Ajani?
What is that? Oh, tell me.
Oh, it's so good.
Oath of Ajani
It's
is
so good.
green, 1 white, a legendary enchantment, just like the other oaths. And when Oath of Ajani enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. And then Planeswalker spells you cast cost 1 less to cast.
Ooh.
So that's a really cool effect.
Yeah.
Very, very synergistic with your Oath of Nissa deck. So pretty cool. I really am a fan of the Oaths. It's very cool where like flavor meets mechanics. I think it's very like that nice mesh feel. And like it's just so cool how they do spoilers nowadays. In my opinion, because like even though there are different opinions. You have the opinion where you have the preference where you like to wait till they're all out to evaluate the set in entirety. But there are some people that just love the hype and just love the card by card release, and then like, oh, what, they get excited, and then oh, they get disappointed, and then oh, they get excited. It's like a train of emotions. And
Yeah.
actually,
It's like a renegade train.
I was listening and I was reading some stuff about it, and they actually put intentional thought into how they release cards nowadays versus how they did, 5-10 years ago, and where they actually try to create that hype and try to create the disappointment, so they have this, roller coaster ride to the set that leads to the excitement and anticipation of playing that new set. And I just think that's really cool design on not only a limited aspect, but people are like, they look at the card and they're like, oh, I can't wait to pick one this, or I can't wait to get 4 of these for my standard deck, or I can't wait. It's just like, it's so cool. In my opinion, how they just create an environment where you can be excited. And
I can't wait to watch Heart of Kiran just absolutely roll me over every draft.
Heart of Kiran is a 2-mana artifact. It's a legendary artifact vehicle. It has Flying Vigilance and Crew 3 for a 4/4. And instead of using your crew cost, you have an alternate cost to crew it, and that is to remove a loyalty counter from a planeswalker you control. So it's really cool. Very strong card. But
Yeah.
I just like, and I think we'll take time, Murph, to evaluate the spoilers as they progress.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We have some more time.
We're looking at these in a very constrained bubble right now, where we're just basing it on the fact of, and it's not even that we're saying they're overpowered, underpowered, anything like that. We're like, oh, this looks cool. Like, that new Wrath effect. It's like the -3/-3. That looks great. Is it going to play great? Maybe. Does it go with the rest of the set? Maybe not. So, we're all just kind of taking this as it comes in and just having fun with it as much as possible, at least.
Magic's supposed to be fun?
No, I don't. Is it though? I don't know.
Yes.
In a very in a very roller coasty way, yes. You're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to not have fun. It depends on what type of player you are. It happens. Like, I think all 3 of us, at least sitting in this little, well, appearing on this podcast and everything, can agree that my child says hi. And also that it's very difficult not to be competitive. It's very difficult not to want to always win.
Right.
And when you go through a period where you are losing often, like every time you sign on, you don't get any reward for playing a league. You go 2-3 or X3 drop. It gets very frustrating. It gets very upsetting. But then you have other days where it seems like everything, or at least most things, are going your way. You do get that 4-1. You get that 5-0 or 3-0 in draft, or you get concurrent 2-1s where you can just almost just re-roll the draft over again. So, and that's always fun because you're winning. I think that the key is that even when you're losing, if you're losing that often, and at least this is what I tried to do, especially on my bad streaks, is just try to make something completely ridiculous that you're going to lose with, because that's pretty much where your expectation level is at, and then just roll it. And just say, sure, why not? Let's see what happens. And even on the day of this, when we were recording this, I drafted a deck from the previous day that I got upset, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna draft red white stuff. And it ended up going 3-0. So I mean, you never know. It's a game of variance. And it's the same with emotion. Emotions are variance as well for us. So
How do you deal with variance, Jamie?
I'm getting better
Okay.
with dealing with it, right? Because you have to realize it's a thing.
Right.
pizza.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
I mean, there's a practice that you taught me. I don't know, and it's worked pretty well. And
yeah,
rolling on the floor. Talk about
absolutely.
like what I just remember one day. Like, did you roll on the floor one day? Is that what you did?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it just it shakes everything up. I feel like when you're just sitting at a chair, you're not getting any blood flow. Your brain is just, it needs some action, physical action, not
Right.
the magic action. So getting down on the floor, rolling around, it changes your perspective, right?
Okay.
And it feels good for your spine.
Yeah.
So just
Healthy.
try it.
Healthy.
Yeah,
I tried
exactly.
it. It was great. I was on a
Yay!
losing streak. I did some rolling. It got a 5-0. It was awesome.
It's so great to
Then I
hear.
just went on a losing streak again. Got tilted left. It's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
But it's magic's awesome, and we go through this times variance, but as long as we're all enjoying it, right? And as I feel that as I guess content producers, the enjoyment it can be found in other places rather than just the results, especially just like the community. And I know your stream has a great community.
Yeah,
For those
I'm
that are
really
listening and those that are watching, if you haven't checked out Jamietopples on Twitch, there'll be a link under the podcast, and she just has great energy, a great community, and it just it's a very positive place to be, but also a learning place, in my opinion, and I really appreciate about that.
And if you ever wanna check it out, you can always just say hi Jamie or Jamie exclamation point, and it's absolutely fantastic what happens. Really. Just type in Jamie exclamation point. And whatever your name is, Jay will be like, Murph!
The viewer hype is real.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is always viewer hype in that channel for sure.
I mean, Murph's child loves Jamie. She just
Aw.
she just yells all the time. I mean, look right now. Just
Yeah, no,
love
I keep having to turn off my mic and turn on my mic. At least I'm trying to do this to cut out some of the other stuff. So,
But
yeah.
she's so excited that Jamie's on the podcast. But she's like,
Oh, I know. It's great too because like I'll be watching watching Jamie or whatever just do a draft or yes, you can say hi. Yeah, okay. I'll be watching Jamie do a draft, and usually it's around Lila's lunchtime. So Lila will be sitting there eating lunch, just watching Jamie draft. I'm like, yeah, okay,
Aw.
this works. Like,
I'll have to say hi.
I'll have to make her a Twitch handle or something.
Yeah.
what was your Twitch
I
handle
scream a
hand?
lot.
I scream a lot. Twitch handle from the age of 2.
Aw. That's how you do it. Get them started young.
Build up that following soon, right?
Right. There's
Slowly but surely. By the time that she's my age, she'll have like 5 billion followers. It'll be great.
perfect.
Baby hype.
I was like, whoo. All right, well, I do want to say thank you for stopping by, Jamie. As
Thanks for
always,
having
it
me.
is a great pleasure. For everybody listening, watching, and or anything else that you may be doing with this, next week we will be speaking with Boot to the Head, also known as David, on the topic of brewing decks and a new format that is gaining popularity in Frontier. Make sure to follow the Rogues Gallery at MTGO Rogues, as well as Team NFG at www.teamnfgbot.com. You can also follow the Rogues on Facebook at www.facebook.com/groups/MTGO Rogues. I believe that's all for now. And everybody say thanks, Jamie. Yell into your phone or your computer or anything. Say thanks, Jamie, because she'll do the
Thanks,
same right back at
Jamie.
you.
Just like that. I was just showing you how to do it. I'm sure
Aw.
you guys can do it now too. And get hyped
All right.
for the Frontier. We have great things, great announcements next week, and secret things will be disclosed.
Secret thing.
So
Actually, they won't be secret by the time that we do it, but you know.
but they'll be on the podcast for sure. So so we will see you guys next week.
All right.